More Than One Child tells the adventures and sorrows of a little girl as an illegal child under China's stringent one-child policy. It is the untold story of the enormous, yet invisible community of excess children. As an illegal excess child, I wasn't entitled to a normal childhood. I went through a lot of negative experiences. Then along the way, I also met several other excess children and witnessed their stories and pains. All these stories just kept piling up. And as I grew up and read more books, I discovered that nobody ever wrote about excess children. Authors either focus on the social pressure of only children or on denouncing the abortions. Nobody said a thing about the millions of babies who survived in the shadows, away from their families, forever scarred by the past. As far back as I can remember, I was always an embarrassment because I was an illegal child growing up under other people's roof in an era of strict family planning policies. That single fact defines every memory, both happy and sad, that I retain from my childhood. Now that I'm 35, whenever I ask the young generation what is family planning policies, what is excess children, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, you cannot really blame them because they don't learn this from school. And there are no related books to read, which is really sad and scary because as time goes by, that part of unique history will eventually disappear without a trace. So I have to bear witness. I have to stand up and make myself heard. I have to record the truth on behalf of an enormous yet invisible community of my peers. I have to say what it was like, physically and emotionally, growing up to adulthood, the difficulties we faced, and how we lived. Otherwise, our entire generation will really be buried in the abyss of history. As someone who lived under other people's roof, where emotion bombs were hiding everywhere, I was equipped with the superpower to be very sensitive and observant. These qualities are good when it comes to writing, but in daily life it can be very troublesome and disturbing, especially when you don't want to be affected by other people's negative emotions. While on the other hand, being sensitive also enables me to be very sympathetic towards others. Another quality my childhood taught me is to be persistent. I waited 11 years to go home, and I waited 10 years to publish my very first book. Last and most importantly, it was because of the tough childhood that I have a very tough character. I'm a strong, independent young woman, and I'm proud of where I came from, who I am, my existence, and my uniqueness. I've been working on More Than One Child for around 10 years, and the fact it would be published in the exact same year when China encourages couples to have 3 children is really an incredible coincidence. I mean, 30 years ago, a family with 3 children was considered the scum of society, and you'll see plenty of examples in the book. And yet now in 2021, a family with 3 children is praised as a role model. It's really ironic. I hope somehow my book will raise some awareness that they should genuinely respect lives instead of making new policies. The key takeaway of this book is that childhood has a huge influence on who you become, and those scars from your past play an important role in your life. I hope readers can realize the importance of giving their kids the happiest possible childhood and avoid passing down to them toxic behaviors and beliefs from their past. If you can forgive, forgive. If you can let it go, let it go. But if you can't, don't force yourself. Just move on. Graciously moving into areas that you can continuously feel positive with your own life.